The Rolls-Royce Spectre is nothing short of a statement, not just for the mark, but for what ultra-luxury can mean in the age of electric vehicles. Because here at last is Rolls-Royce's first true all-electric production car, launched in 2023, delivered in late 2023, and fully embodying both tradition and innovation in a way few automobiles ever do. Standing at the intersection of craftsmanship, cutting-edge technology, opulence, silence, and more importantly for many, performance that defies expectations of what a car so stately and heavy can do. It is a grand tourer, a supercoupe of immense proportions built for four, with rear-hinged suicide doors, and an ultra-quiet cabin whose stillness you don't fully appreciate until you let the world outside fade away, until you lift the accelerator and hear nothing but perhaps the light whisper of wind and the hum of tires, and even that only at high speed. Its powertrain consists of dual electric motors in an all-wheel drive configuration, delivering standard output of about 577 horsepower and 664 lb-ft of torque, thrusting its nearly 3-ton curb weight forward with surprising alacrity, achieving 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 4.4 seconds in standard trim, while the Black Badge variant pushes that further, unlocking around 650 horsepower or thereabouts and more torque. Introducing performance modes like Infinity and Spirited that let the Spectre shed some of its stately demeanor for bursts of more aggressive pace, yet it never feels like anything other than a Rolls-Royce, because the ride is sublime. Air suspension, a chassis stiffened to accommodate the heavy 102 kilowatt-hour battery pack while maintaining that signature magic carpet ride, a sound insulation program that turns what might be bone-shaking in lesser cars into velvet silence here, with measured cabin noise at highway speeds so low you can hear little more than the softest whisper of the tires on certain pavement types. The battery itself is a nominal 102.0 kilowatt-hour battery, with a usable capacity slightly less, accounting for buffer, giving the Spectre a range that in real-world highway testing comes close to, or slightly under, its stated EPA figures of around 260-mile range, while under the more lenient WLTP cycle it can approach 320 to 330 miles. Figures which are remarkable given its massive size, its vast weight, its luxury appointments, and the fact that Rolls-Royce has not compromised on anything in order to reach those numbers, opting instead for meticulous aerodynamic design, including a drag coefficient of about 0.25, flush surfaces, a lowered but unmistakably Rolls-style illuminated Pantheon grille, and a reshaped Spirit of Ecstasy ornament that is lower, more aerodynamic, more modern in form while still reverent to heritage. On the outside, the Spectre's dimensions are imposing. Over 5.4 meters long, more than 2 meters wide, riding on huge wheels, 22 or 23-inch units, with the larger wheels reducing range a bit due to increased rolling resistance. But adding to its presence, with the entire body built on the architecture of luxury platform shared with the Phantom 8 and Cullinan, but significantly adapted to house the heavy battery structure between the sills, which increases stiffness by around 30% compared to the non-EV counterparts, helping with body control, handling, and overall refinement. Visually, the Spectre is beautiful. Coach-built craftsmanship, long curved surfaces, the waft line inherited from the Wraith butt. Reinterpreted, the fastback coupe silhouette that slopes gracefully, rear-hinged doors providing drama and ease of ingress and egress especially for rear passengers, illuminated door sills, starlight headliner extending to doors and ambient lighting that turns the cabin into a calm, celestial sanctuary at night. Interior materials are of the highest order, hand-stitched leather, wood veneers, metal surfaces. Every switch with satisfying weight and texture, carpets thick enough to mute footsteps. Seats soft and supportive, adjustability / massage functions abound. The bespoke audio system is tuned to match the cabin acoustics, making music or conversation immersive without ever disturbing the peace. Technology integration is modern but discreet. Touchscreens, digital displays, driver assistance features up to level 2 autonomy including adaptive cruise, lane keeping, stop-and-go traffic support, parking assist features, but always subordinate to the luxury experience, never dominating it. Charging capability is also serious. DC fast charging is supported, so if you have access to a high-power charger, Rolls-Royce recommends something like a 195 kilowatts charger. You can go from 10 to 80% in somewhere in the ballpark of 30 to mid-30s minutes under ideal conditions, though in many use cases owners will rely on home charging or destination charging. The onboard AC charging is sufficient for overnight work, and though charging infrastructure remains a constraint in many regions, for buyers at this level, infrastructure is less a concern, especially for primary residence or estates. When driving, the Spectre feels commanding, steering has weight, body roll is well managed, brake feel is strong and composed, though of course this is no lightweight sports car. Yet when you ask for it, it will hold its own through sweeping curves, and in black badge mode there's a bit more directness, more feedback, more engagement. Without sacrificing that Rolls-Royce composure, speed is ample with top speed. Electronically limited in many markets around 155 miles per hour, almost equals 250 km/h, more than enough for any road, and the Spectre never feels as though the chassis or suspension are overmatched. Let's talk about usability. Rear legroom is generous, though sloping roofline reduces headroom a bit for taller occupants. Ingress and egress are made easier by the rear hinged doors. Visibility is good for such a large car thanks to camera systems, though rear quarter visibility is naturally compromised by design. Styling, but the mirror systems and parking cameras help. Trunk space is reasonable for the class. Build quality is exemplary. Fit and finish worthy of the Rolls-Royce name, minimal panel gaps, exquisite detailing in woodwork, leather, metal and surface finishes. Each Spectre can be highly bespoke. Coach lines, color palettes, interior trim, materials. Even custom commission options mean no two will likely be exactly alike. In terms of environmental impact, aside from being fully electric, there is craftsmanship that considers sustainable sources for materials, though not to the extent of every EV startup, and weight remains a factor for energy consumption. Still, relative to traditional V12 petrol models, emissions over usage will drop markedly assuming clean electricity. Cost of ownership is enormous. Purchase price far beyond most. Options push it even higher: insurance, maintenance, charging infrastructure, and depreciation curves differ in this segment, but buyers in this echelon expect this. In many comparisons, the Spectre doesn't seek to beat performance EVs like Tesla Model S Plaid in raw speed, or Lucid Air in range per kilowatt-hour efficiency, but those are not its direct competitors. The comparisons are with other ultra-luxury bespoke coupes, high-end grand tourers, limousines, and even private jets or yachts in the minds of its clientele. The Spectre distinguishes itself by forging a new path for Rolls-Royce, by saying, "We can build you the quietest, most luxurious, most refined, all-electric grand tourer and still deliver performance, range, usability, and soul." Its arrival signals the brand's commitment to an electric future while preserving what its customers love. That sense of occasion, of arrival, of craftsmanship, of silence, of luxury beyond mere specification, of luxury you feel in your bones. Criticisms are few but real. For example, its weight means inertia in some dynamic maneuvers. The price is astronomical, charging speeds while good are not best in class. Range is excellent but not groundbreaking when you consider lighter, more efficiency-focused EVs, and in extremely cold weather or at high speeds range falls off notably. But these are minor blemishes in the context of what it achieves. In sum, the Spectre is Rolls-Royce's first serious declaration that electric can coexist with ultra-luxury, that customers need not sacrifice refinement or materials or heritage for powertrain electrification, that silence can be golden, and that a car this opulent can also be surprisingly competent, respectful of driving demands, and emotionally resonant. For anyone who covets presence, craftsmanship, legacy, and a future that respects both indulgence and sustainability, the Spectre is perhaps not just a car but an experience, a monument to what happens when tradition meets electric propulsion, and with its black badge variant, bespoke spec options, and future special editions likely to come, Spectre stands as a milestone in Rolls-Royce history, a beautiful and bold first chapter